Welcome to ETV Magazine. I'm Lexi Cuban. Let's get right into it. Publicly announced on September 10th, the school board made the decision to file a lawsuit against manufacturers, distributors, and sellers of electronic cigarettes and vaping products.
Everybody understands you pick up a cigarette, that's a bad thing. I think this is even worse. So I think that it was, and the board agrees, that it was up to us to get that word out, and the best way to do so was to file a lawsuit. So it's about social awareness, it's about education, but at the end of the day, the goal is to not have kids coming to school or away from school using these products.
And I knew when they made this decision that this was in the best interest of our kids, and that even though it's a difficult decision to make, we are leading the way in protecting our kids and ensuring that their educational journey doesn't go interrupted at all.
I think it's an epidemic, and it's truly something that we need to address. I think that taking a step can possibly help the situation and maybe get more people aware of what's going on, especially like parents, because parents have zero clue what's going on. I think it's awesome.
I think they have good intentions behind it, but I don't think it's going to really help much in the long run. I don't think really it's a necessary thing for them to sue a company. It's not the company's fault that a student is vaping in the school, and they just need to continue to enforce the rules they have here and then make sure they're consistent with how they punish students for vaping.
We as a district over the last year have had significant increase across not only the Goddard Public Schools, but across the United States.
Every once in a while, you'll see it in the locker room. You'll hear teachers talking about the latest kid that they had to send home because of it, and it's outrageous.
I purposely avoid the bathrooms during passing period because usually I'll walk in, there will be somebody in there drooling or doing some sort of vaping. So I see it a lot. It's pretty common.
And when presented with the facts and the marketing techniques of the electronic cigarette manufacturers, it's very clear to us that youth were targeted in those campaigns. And for that reason, we felt it necessary to stand up on behalf of our students. Social and emotional well-being of our students is very, very important. And we look at this as a driving factor.
I don't think they're trying to target necessarily towards teenagers. I think they're targeting those people who are in their 20s who are either trying to quit smoking or trying to find an alternative to a bad habit they had before. So like if they were chewing tobacco or smoking cigarettes, they're now trying to just go to vaping because in their opinion it's a healthier alternative.
I think the way that it's getting out is like social media, but it's not necessarily the actual companies. I've read stuff that said that Juul specifically is spending money to keep it away from kids under 18 because I think that they see that it's wrong too. They can't stop the 18, 19, 20-year-old, the people that are stupid, from giving younger kids the products.
The district was approached and by a law firm. The Board of Education opted to take action when they were presented with information.
I smoked for 27 years. I understand what nicotine addiction is and what it does and how hard it is to break. So it was very clear to me that to have that type of addiction, the kids didn't understand what the implications were or what the risks were by participating in e-cigarettes. And for the parents, I don't think that they understood what the risks were either, or they probably wouldn't be allowing it.
Another new teacher has joined our staff this year. Reporter Israel Root filed this report on Mr. Brown.
After the retirement of Mrs. Weber, Eisenhower's band teacher for many years, a new instructor was chosen to fill the position.
I just came from teaching 6 years at Wichita South High School. I taught at Bishop Carroll before that, and before that I taught at Chaparral High School in Anthony, Kansas. Well, I grew up in the area. I went to Goddard High School before the split and was in the band there. My kids go to school here. My oldest son is in 6th grade at Discovery, and I got kids at Explorer. So it was just a really cool opportunity to come home and kind of take over the program that I grew up in. I love the fact that you make amazing musical experiences, that you can accomplish really great things.
Having Miss Weber as an instructor positively influenced Mr. Brown's career. Students have noticed many changes in the varying teaching styles of both teachers.
I think she pushed me to achieve goals and to want to pursue music, and obviously I'm back here taking over that program, so it means a lot to me to be here.
Well, he's a lot younger, and so that's obviously going to make a difference. Weber was great and all, but she just had a lot of old ideas that she wasn't really budging from, and so we have a lot of new ideas incorporated in our marching band show this year, and I think it's going to look awesome. And Mr. Brown, he's so chill. Like, he's so much fun, and he brings a new energy that Weber could never really bring to the band, and it's like having a bigger version of us as our teacher, and it's really cool.
I think Mr. Brown expects a lot of us as a band, and he knows what we can do and how hard we can work, and I think that he wants to push us to be the best that we can be, to give the best performance that we can.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Israel Reed.
Speaking of new additions to the school, an interactive, activity-based curriculum has been introduced to Goddard Public Schools. You know it as My Perspectives.
This year, our school district has implemented a new English curriculum called My Perspectives. The curriculum is different from the old one in the fact that the lessons for the teachers are much more scripted.
We have not had a new ELA resource in about 14 years, and so it was past time to do another adoption, and so we had some funds left in our textbook account. We've been saving money for about the last 5 years to be able to provide new resources for teachers and students, and really went through a very extensive process to determine what is the best ELA resource for our students and our teachers. It's aligned to our state standards and is really going to help support our teachers with what they need to do in the classroom each day. Our teachers are our best resource, and they're the ones that are going to impact student learning the most. We want to help give them the tools to be able to support them in the best way we can. We will look at additional adoptions for other subjects. Our next area of focus will be secondary science, and then we'll be looking at a K-12 math adoption, and then it'll be time after that for a K-12 social studies adoption. So those are our next 3 big ones coming up.
Well, the students all have their own books, their own textbooks, and they're able to write in them, highlight in them. They can tear out pages to turn in for assignments, and so that's one thing they can carry it around with them. They allow the students to work in large groups and then on small groups and then on their own, so it's trying to diversify by allowing students to work in different settings.
But not all students are fond of this new English curriculum.
I do not like My Perspectives because it does not teach us as well as the teachers could.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Adam Bischoff.
What's happening in the world of arts and entertainment here at Eisenhower?
I've got some good stories lined up for you. First up, let's take a look back at the first play of the year, Little Women. Reporter Katie Harrell takes us down to the stage for a behind-the-scenes glance.
I knew that we had graduated a large amount of men last year, so I wanted to pick a show that was female heavy and a female led. My favorite thing to see is definitely the confidence level and just being comfortable in their skin, and from like their freshman year to their senior year to see just the growth and like being able to be truer to a character and be authentic and really be in the moment.
One of the reasons they chose this play was due to the low numbers of male actors.
I'm backstage with a headset, and I have 3 other stage managers that are helping me and getting everybody on stage, getting everybody in costume and ready for their next scene. It feels like I have a lot of power, and it's a little bit dangerous, but it's also really fun.
An important factor to have while acting is a strong connection to your character.
I played Sally Gardner. I just know her as Sally. So when I got that character, I really resonated with her because she kind of had like a previous connection to me. My character inspires me to act by just kind of going all out with it, like being the snootiest, richest Sally I can be. So that means I can like go at it.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Katie Harrell.
The Improv Team lost some key seniors last year, leaving up to several members to step up and take the lead. Let's see how the team has progressed this year. Reporter Emma Hott has the story.
The Improv Team is a fun and educational experience for anyone involved. Miss Boxa is the improv coach. Her and the members make up games and perform during shows.
It is a lot of fun. It's definitely fun getting to be with a new group of people and to kind of mesh with everyone and just see how everyone kind of gets along, and it's so much fun.
It's a lot of team bonding, and it's also just fun because you get to get on stage and just do you.
I like the fact that everybody's so open about everything, and that like no matter like what you do, like no matter how weird it is, we always go along with it, and everybody always really enjoys it.
To step out of my shell and not really care what people think and just kind of do me.
kind of confidence, to be more confident and, just to have fun and enjoy it all. I like just getting to be goofy with some people. It feels more like hanging out with friends rather than doing a show or having like an official meeting for anything. It's a lot of fun.
We have a lot of games, and like we have a book with all of our games in it, and that kind of helps us remember ones that we've forgotten. And we pick them based on like our first show this year. We picked out like a opening skit for the show, and then based off of what we were doing, we went and got like a Dollar Tree little thing, and then we write numbers on it, and then we have somebody from the audience come pick it, and then we have a list of the numbered games, and whatever number's on it, then that's the game that we play.
Like getting on stage and like acting, like doing improvised acting, but it's also like being with like your group and like, I don't know, it's just like the whole thing in general is just really nice and fun.
You make new friends. You have a little group that you can mesh with, and we bond, and I think we're all pretty close, and it's another group of friends to kind of fall back on, and it really does teach you a ton of confidence and to just be yourself around people and, have a good time.
And now to finish off the segment, Matthew Atkins and Xander Nicholson bring you At the Movies.
Pick a door. All right then. No. That's my door. Pick another door. What's wrong with you?
Welcome to the best part of the show. I'm Matthew, and why are we the best, Xander?
Because it's at the movies. We got popcorn, baby.
We're going to quickly talk about Hobbs and Shaw.
You know what? You were right. This is your door. What's the matter? You got a lot of bad guys behind that door?
This movie is a hairdresser's nightmare. Everyone's bald, okay?
But this movie does take the Fast and Furious franchise on a step in action, with the originals having like just street racing and undercover cops, to now like having super viruses and scenes where characters lasso helicopters.
All right, this film steers from the originals in terms of plot, with the originals having, hot ladies, hot cars, now only having one hot lady and just fisticuffs.
The two main actors, Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, who play Luke Hobbs and Deckard Shaw, they do a pretty good job of cracking jokes throughout the movie.
Idris Elba, the main villain, Brixton, he tries to play the part, but the script isn't there. But, no one takes it seriously. Come on.
Vanessa Kirby, who plays Shaw's sister Haiti, is really, really unmemorable. She has this super virus, so the bad guys want to get her, and she really is only there to guide the plot. To sum this all up, the movie is like a cartoon, but it sort of gives itself a logical reason to be over the top.
But, as you said, it's over the top. But if you're looking for another summer blockbuster, with the cheesy plot, and all the goods of the action, this movie's just for you. All right, this movie's just for you. I would rate this 5 out of 10 Dwayne Johnsons.
This has been At the Movies. Have a good night.
Actually, I hope you have a fantastic afternoon.
What? Are you trying to one-up me?
I'm trying to be.
Have a good morning.
Next up, we have sports with Cody O'Brien. Man, that was a great game we had a couple weeks ago. If you left in the third quarter, you sure missed it.
Most definitely. It was a wild finish to say the least. The Tigers beat their crosstown rivals by 1 point, clawing their way back in dramatic fashion near the end of the game. Jared Overlechner was on the sidelines and got the story right after the victory.
The Tigers pulled off the miraculous comeback against the Lions at the District Stadium. Chance Olney was starting at QB as Mackey was set to play limited snaps.
It was definitely different, but I used to play a little bit of running back. When Colin broke his hand in middle school, I played for him.
It's amazing, honestly. I've been waiting for this for
Best
my whole life.
quarterback in the state.
He said it. I didn't. I wasn't supposed to play that much tonight, and once we got it rolling, they just kept me in. I trusted my teammates, they trusted me, and then we got things done.
The Tigers started off the game with a quarterback rush from Chance Olney. The Lions blocked a field goal and took it all the way back for 6. This was also the debut for senior Jordan Vincent, who hasn't played football at the high school level. Colin Mackey played the last 2 offensive drives for Eisenhower, where he put the ball in the end zone both times. Mason Turney scores a go-ahead touchdown to make the score 21-20. The Lions drive down the field on the last possession of the game, but come up short on a deep pass to Blake Mitchell. The final score is Eisenhower 21, Lions 20, in a fourth quarter 14-point comeback for the Tigers.
I'll tell you what, it's a great feeling. It's not just a great feeling for the win or that it was against Goddard, that our boys would not quit. They just kept fighting, and to get a victory like that where it come from behind, and it seems like we're a fourth quarter team, and that's what I wanted to see, is true character out of those guys. And when their back's against the wall, what do they look like? Any film will tell, but some positives was Colin Mackey being able to come back and step into a role, and I took him a couple quarters to get warmed up, but once he was warmed up, man, he did some amazing things. Our offensive line, we made some adjustments at halftime, but there's still a long ways to go. We're not where we want to be quite yet, but we're finding a way to get victories, and I think that's the main goal.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Jared Oberlechner.
Let's continue with Jared Oberlechner and take a closer look at the team's development throughout the beginning of the year and see how Coach Fisher has impacted the program.
The Eisenhower football team has a new coach with plenty of experience.
I was actually a college coach for 2 years at Tabor College, where I coached offensive line. And then I came to Goddard High School, where I was there for 6 years as a defensive coordinator, and now here.
He brings a wealth of knowledge to the team, and the players have taken notice.
He knows everything, honestly. Defense, offense, he knows it, and he relates well to everyone else.
I mean, his weight program is amazing. He tells you what each lift does. He's a very good teacher.
With a new coaching staff, the Tigers also changed their schemes up.
Last year I threw the ball maybe 10 times a game max. This year it's going to be around 30.
Yeah, practice a lot different. We changed up the scheme this year, both offense and defensively. That's a new look. It's a lot better. I think it fits our personnel better.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Jared Oberlechner.
Next up, we have cross country. The team has set high goals for itself, realizing the importance of developing a good base of runners to build on for future years.
The cross country teams have been working hard all summer preparing for the season.
This year, I really bumped up my mileage, got up to 55 miles a week.
They spent numerous time building their aerobic bases.
Aerobic base is running with oxygen, not going into oxygen debt. Anaerobic is going into oxygen debt, where you only do that for so long.
If you build that aerobic base, then you can build up higher anaerobically, so you can get more speed.
The teams have high goals for this year.
We always kind of measure our success, as all sports do, is whether you can make state or not. Now the girls had a really great year last year, when third at state and all that, and so we want to follow that, build on that. And I think we can.
I'm setting my goals high. I want to win state 5A. Time-wise, I want to get down 15:50, 5:05 mile pace.
This may be the best team of both boys and girls I've had in the past 9 years.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Cody O'Brien.
With a lot of young, new faces on the girls' golf team, there's a lot to be learned throughout the season. Let's see how it's going.
The girls' golf team has a lot of young talent this year.
Meredith Wrestle is a freshman. We're kind of throwing her into the fire right off the bat. With the 3 upperclassmen, we're throwing her right in there with them.
So I played for a few years, which is great because I'm learning off that. I'm learning new skills, but I at least have a base to go off of. So it's not terrible. It's not completely new, but it's good. It's definitely an adjustment, though.
She's just like anybody. She's got a lot to learn the game, plus gain some confidence in herself. Even when times get tough, you just keep battling through it.
High school is a lot more competitive. You see a few of the same faces, and definitely coaching is different, but you learn a lot.
The team has only 2 seniors in Jordan Looper and Emma Fleshman.
I'm one of the older girls on the team, and they're all mostly freshmen, a couple of sophomores, so I feel pretty responsible to help them become better golfers.
Jordan and I are closer in score, but Emma definitely helps a lot. She teaches me a lot about my distance on shots, and Jordan is more helping me adjust just to being on the team.
Yeah, we try to pair them some in practice so that they can kind of see, what time and effort is that they've put in, what it's kind of done for them, so that they can kind of see what hopefully they'll be doing in a couple of years in that.
Plenty of young talent. They have a lot of room to grow over the next few years.
Some of the basics and learning and that with rules and their swing and different things out of the way this year. So hopefully in the future years they'll be a little bit ahead of the curve. It's just so much to learn, when it comes to golf.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Andrew Mendoza.
Boys soccer hopes to take the next step in the postseason by pushing through the usual obstacles in this competitive sport.
The boys soccer team is looking to get back into regional form.
Probably just making sure everybody's on the same page, and we definitely have the skill and the talent this year, so we just need to work on every game. Every game's going to be important this year.
Working together, getting more chemistry.
Pretty much just playing as a team. I think last year we were kind of selfish at time, but
This group of guys, they've gelled more as a team this year, and we play together as a team. I think it shows with the amount of goals we've been scoring.
The team has spent a lot of time working on their chemistry this year.
Able to let me lead when I'm on the field. He doesn't really care about anybody else as far as leading the team. He knows when I'm out there, I'm going to be the one leading it.
The kids this year, they enjoy each other more. It's more of a brotherhood. They argue more too. That being said, they all hang out on and off the field together. I think that's a big part of being a team.
He relates to us very well because he's been in some of the same situations. He has experience playing at the college level.
They're looking to push past regionals this year and make a run.
I think it was from failures from last year. We've had disappointing years the last 2 years in regionals, and I think the guys that have been playing, the sophomores and juniors the past 2 years, they're all seniors now. I think that they've learned and we're focused and we're ready to win this year.
For ETV Magazine, I am Brett Martin.
The Lady Tigers volleyball team has strength through its experience and through bonding this year, with a large majority of seniors stepping up and taking the lead.
The varsity volleyball team has 6 seniors this year.
Yeah, we're pretty close this year. We do a lot of team bonding, so we're always together, and it makes for really good chemistry on the court and off the court.
Yeah, I try to be really positive and uplifting of other players, and I try to help the underclassmen and talk to them a lot.
That leaves some big roles for the underclassmen to fill next year.
For this year, it's awesome. Thinking to next year, it kind of concerning and having to fill a whole lot of holes, but it's nice because they have played together for so long and they have a lot of strong leadership. I expected us to come out really strong, especially because a lot of our team was returning and the ones that were filling the holes are the same age or have played together before. So I expected it to be a pretty good season.
Mrs. Olay is pushing the team to do their best late in the season.
Yeah, she's a lot harder on us this year in a good way and helps us to stay on top of things and work hard in practice.
We're pretty good about communicating with each other and trying to lift each other up, but consistency is where we struggle.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Connor Gibson.
Changes in head coaches from year to year have been a constant for the girls' tennis team. This year is no different. Despite their change in leadership over the years, the players still must go out and perform at their highest level while learning along the way.
The girls' tennis team also has a new head coach this year. With 3 new coaches in 4 years, the team has been struggling to find consistency.
This opportunity kind of presented itself, so we definitely plan on being here for the long haul.
I'm now doing singles this year. I did doubles all the past years. It's basically a different sport almost. I hope I can really do well this year.
Even with the constant changes, they have found ways to grow.
I think the team overall has really bonded together, and I expect us to probably go to league.
I think that's just me being a competitor. Myself and Coach Dixon want to get across to the girls is just being competitive at all times, whether it be at practice, whether it be in a meet.
For ETV Magazine, I am Owen Vanetta.
I'm Lexi Cuban.
I'm Ethan Wild. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Ike Sports News for the latest news here at EHS.
And I'm Cody O'Brien. For all of us here at ETV Magazine and I Like Ike Productions, we'll see you next time.